Go ahead.
We have Wi-Fi here, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Come on. There's Wi-Fi here in this. And I should kick right on, so. Between phones and my iPad the last couple weeks. Ah, there it goes. Okay. If nobody else is going to be here, I am going to be called to order and supposedly supposed to do the roll call, because I don't know what Justin's going to end up saying to do or not doing. So.
Okay. Abby Bemis, Marcus Harris,
Present.
Sarah Chiapponi, did I say?
Present, yes.
Paul Cook,
Here.
Alan Nichols.
Okay, we have some minutes that were sent to us from the July 11th, 23 meeting. What would your pleasure be?
After reviewing, I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for July 11th. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I don't think we need to do roll calls on everything. That's a whole different. The financial?
Excellent. Thank you very much. An updated financial report is being circulated and will be posted online. It's reflecting a correction
Thank you.
to the report that was in your packet.
I can't see that little shit, so I'll bring my iPad.
Okay, this is it's an updated financial report.
Updated since you sent this to me?
Yes.
Oh,
An error
so I'm
was,
still not gonna be able to see it.
I'll point it out to you. An error was made in calculating the funds available. The figures for funds encumbered for 2023 was incorrectly reported. So on your sheet, I'll draw your attention to total 2023 funding available is $986,397. That is down at the bottom, and I did highlight where the corrections are being made today. Encumbered funds total $691,400, and that is the 2022 yet-to-be dispersed funds for Pipe Creek Wharf, or Pipe Creek Holdings, as on your sheet, and 2023 grants committed, which is in the approved grants amount, in the amount of, hold on one second, $551,400. So that totals encumbered, again, $400,000. I'm sorry, $691,400. Total funds available as of today are $294,997. So the correction again is that the funds encumbered for 2022 yet to be dispersed plus approved grant amounts for 2023, and that is the correction today. So we're in good shape with a nice balance of $294,997 for the remainder of this year. Any questions?
What is the Pipe Creek?
I'm sorry?
The Pipe Creek project, what is that?
Pipe Creek Wharf is a new bar restaurant on Pipe Street over in the Pipe Creek district off of Cleveland Road, or off of Cedar Point Road. I do have a quick update on the grants that we've made if there's no questions on financials.
Well, in terms of that,
I'm trying to figure out where a bar can be on Pipe Street.
It's actually diagonally across the street from Louis.
so it's on the water.
It's on the water, yes.
Now I understand where you're.
I believe you approved it and it went to commission in November of last year.
Is that the one that Dennis had to abstain, and I probably abstained because I think Pat Murray Jr. has,
He is the owner and developer.
obviously, hopefully I abstained, so. Dennis is abstaining.
Did have a question on that in terms of progress with that particular project. How far along are they until completion?
All right, I'm going to give an update on all projects, if you, so please for me at this time. Okay, Brown Robinson Funeral Home, the project scope has been completed, all necessary permits have been closed, and the grant has been dispersed. Brown Robinson Funeral Home is open and operating. Explorer Motel, project scope completed, all necessary permits have been closed and grant dispersed, business is open and operating. The Thirsty Pony expansion, project scope is completed, all necessary permits have been closed. The owner is working on gathering all required documentation for grant disbursement, and literally before I came down, I received it. So the grant has not been dispersed yet. I will review all invoices and evidence of payment, and then move forward with disbursement. The business is open and operating as of this past weekend. Pipe Creek Wharf, the owner-developer has requested extension of time of performance until December 31st of this year. City Manager Orszag has granted that. The project itself, the exterior is pretty much complete. It's the interior build-out of the bar and restaurant equipment that is being delayed because of, I would believe, trades availability as well as some supplies. Mr. Murray, as far as I know, wanted to be open by now, has not met that deadline, so has requested an extension.
He got messed up with the pipeline like probably everybody here for some part of some other appliance or car.
On to next update, Small City Tap House, which is a grant that was made over multiple years. Facade improvements, specifically tuck pointing, will begin the week of September 18th, so next week, and continue for approximately 8 weeks. And it is the final portion of the project that we have dollars into. As I said, it's the final phase of improvements supported by this economic development grant made a few years ago. Family Health Services and El Gran Patron are still under construction, all in different stages of development. And just before I came down, I received an update from Sandusky Book Bar indicating 80% complete, with a target date to be open on October 14th. So I will provide updates at future meetings about all of these projects, but I wanted to give you an update as to the ones that are active right now.
We don't have anybody that is really lagging way behind.
Not as far as I know.
Not like our one on, Sharon's not here, I don't get to make my smart comment, but not the one that was the old Primus building.
Yeah, that one's rescinded, so it's not even on our
Right,
sheet
no, that's it.
anymore.
But that one went forever.
Did we ever set a timeline that they're good for so long, or is that a case by case?
That's
I
exactly
believe
where-
it's case by case. Each of the grant agreements do allow for time extension at the discretion of the city manager. If the city manager so chooses, he could bring it back to committee or request that staff bring it back to committee. But thus far, under my direction of the department, only Pipe Creek Wharf has asked for an extension.
Okay.
The others seem to be tracking very well.
Yeah, because it's not fair to new grants if somebody sits out there for
Understood.
ever.
Understood. So that's the financial report and project updates.
Okay. Now, the financial report that was sent to me that I reviewed, I guess I would entertain a motion of the updated financial report that was just presented to us.
To approve it?
Made a motion?
Sure. Motion to approve the
Updated.
updated financial report.
Second. Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Review of applications and staff recommendations.
Great, thank you. There is one application and staff recommendation for your consideration today. Ethel's Quilt Shop, owned by Jackie Senish, is located at 279 East Market Street. The business formerly operated as M&E Quilt Shop. When her partner announced her retirement, Jackie made the bold decision to continue operating as a sole proprietor with the strategy of marketing the business as the choice for quilters who love primitive reproduction quilts of yesteryear. To do so, Jackie has planned for building renovation and improvements at a total project cost of nearly $20,000. The building itself has deep sentimental value to Jackie. It was built in 1884 and reflects the business direction she wishes to continue in regard to Civil War reproduction fabrics, hand-dyed wools, and period furniture pieces. The building was purchased by Ruth Parker in the 1980s and was rehabilitated by Jackie's father, Robert Schaefer. Jackie remembers visiting and helping her dad during that time, and even now uses her dad's old wooden ladders to display fabrics in the shop. To update and make changes to the building so as to support her business expansion, Jackie will cause for painting the interior of the space, will have the original floors refinished. She will also increase the area of the kitchen so that she may begin offering hand-dyed woolens for wool applique and hooking. She will also reconfigure countertop space and install a big one-bowl sink to make it more user-friendly. Permanent slat walls will be installed to display products since the old walls are not appropriate for wall displays. New ceiling fans with antique dual blades will also be installed to complete the look that she's achieving. Jackie also plans to improve the exterior of the building with floral window boxes and new signage to reflect the new name of the shop. With the addition of the wool dyeing, Jackie plans on hiring 2 to 3 part-time employees in the first year to assist with operating the business. Her goal is to increase the hours of operation in the next year. Revenue in the past 9 years at M&E Quilt Shop averaged about $180,000 a year, and she aspires to increase that to over $210,000 in 2024, with a steady increase each year after. Her online sales have been a good part of the business, having shipped all over the United States. I want to note that in 2018, the predecessor business to Ethel's Quilt Shop, M&E, did receive a small business grant from the City of Sandusky for the purchase of equipment. Today, I'm recommending $7,500 grant from 2023 funds to support the continued growth of the quilt shop, and I welcome your questions.
Okay. Help me. This is not the old Gallagher's. This is the one across the street from it. You know, if I say the old Gallagher, see how
Yes,
young you
it's
people
across,
are?
it's across.
That's
it's
exactly
next
what
to-
you're talking about. That's
I'll
where
tell
my
you.
grandmother used to get her dog food from, so I'm familiar with Gallagher's.
The addresses, I just,
So yeah, it is across the street from that.
I'm just glad to see that building is going to not go by the way of the wrecking ball.
I would like to note that Ms. Senish met with me here in Commission Chambers to go over her business plan. She has been an absolute delight to work with, has responded quickly and appropriately with all the information that's been requested of her, and is really, really excited about carrying on this business that's been quite successful and unique in the city of Sandusky.
I know absolutely nothing about quilts. So having said that, my other comment was I'm glad to see that we're keeping some of the buildings downtown and not just Hogafees, but other people are keeping them up.
Do you know who owns the building?
I do not have access right this moment, but I can look it up.
Yeah, I was thinking that when Ruth died, it went to the estate, and the estate was distributed to her son, John. But I don't know if that building went.
The only reason I bring it up is it says that the lease expires in August of this year, so the lease that she's operating under would be expired, so just, I would prefer her to have a new lease before she puts money in and then gets
Absolutely.
booted by the, just a
She
safety
has,
thing for
yeah,
her.
she has renegotiated the lease. I'm awaiting a copy of that lease, and I can certainly let you all know when I receive that.
I guess like Paul, so I'd like to know who owns the building. And if we go down the road of approving it, I'd approve it, Paul, with your, because you're going to have to make the motion or something, based on a renegotiated new lease.
Yep.
The building is owned by JBRIV Properties LLC.
That's that's what Bruce State distributed it out to the kids.
So there's a high level of confidence that the lease will be renegotiated?
Confident that it's been renegotiated, just haven't received a copy of that yet.
I would make a motion to approve it as presented, subject to receipt of a approved lease.
An updated approved lease.
Excellent.
I'd second that motion. If that is the motion out.
Second? We have a motion made and seconded. Discussions? All in favor, say aye.
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 Same. Okay. Do we all get a quote out of it? I mean,
Illegal kickback, but I'll pass.
For the record.
I had a conversation with Colleen before we go into anything further. I guess, I don't know if you want to call this new business, old business, or what a business, okay? You call it whatever you wish. With only one application, we had discussed, and the thing that had got through to me by other members of the committee is, you know, we hate to come in and just vote on one. I mean, obviously, everybody's time here, other than people who work for the city, joke, is valuable. Particularly seeing that I'm probably paying for somehow part of Abby's salary, but that's okay. And that if there is a way of extending times, and we just have to, I guess, maybe do a hard and fast, say, okay, if you don't have it in this time, you're not gonna get approved until the next meeting, or whatever that might be. Having said that, Colleen had indicated that she's got 3 that are ready to go. They just haven't gotten to us yet. I would be more inclined, and again, I'm just having a discussion, putting things off for a week. I mean, if we get into this situation again, just so we're not voting on one. And not that this person is not very important, okay? Not trying to discount that, but I'm trying to figure everybody's time. So, you know, if the 3 are ready, I told her we could do it October 10th. Don't know whether that's good, bad, or indifferent for everybody, but I'd want to have all 3 of them on the 10th. And if they can't be, then I would say they need to wait until November 14th. I don't know how you guys feel about just.
I would say my personal opinion on that is that it's hard to make hard and fast rules. I can tell you, and some bank customers come in, they're ready to go. Some aren't. Meeting times are set. I'd hate to see us delay Ethel's quilt shop because we're waiting for 3 more. So, you know, I'm happy to come in for 1 or 5. It doesn't make a difference to me. It's because to me, I think we serve at the pleasure of these folks, and we want to get the money out to them. And I'd hate to have them wait because, you know, and it's also possible that, you know, Colleen has 3 applications, and then the day before, 2 pull things around or move things, and then she has to pull them. And I don't want to punish the one, you know what I mean? So it's hard to say. Plus, we set the meetings out a month in advance, and I think it's hard to.
Again, if we set the meeting out for we'd have to set up an additional meeting for October 10th. We do not have one set for then.
Oh.
Our next meeting that we have got set is November 14th.
Got it.
We would
So
have
you're
to have
asking
it-
if we can do an October meeting yet? I'm fine with whatever you want, if it's next week or two, whenever they're ready, I'm ready.
I
I can only
appreciate
speak for
that.
me, but.
I appreciate, and just to be clear, they're not ready. They're in the pipeline. They are approaching being ready. They weren't ready for this meeting. So again, I didn't feel it was fair to hold up Ethel's Quilt Shop because others aren't ready.
Yeah,
We're
'cause we'd already had the
cultivating,
meeting set.
and not all businesses are at the same level in terms of sophistication in being able to acquire estimates. That is another issue, getting estimates from contractors. So I will work very hard to get the remaining 3 available for an October meeting, and thank you for your consideration. I do want to point out, we are only meeting quarterly, so there is a lot of time that lapses in between, so.
We decided to go quarterly because of the lack of applications. And
Oh.
again, what the complaint that I got from different members was, coming in from one. But I'm willing to set, or at least, I guess I do, the set for October 10th, 2 o'clock, a special meeting, unless there's an objection.
No, I don't have an objection to that, and I agree with Paul in that sense of if we have a meeting that's scheduled, then this is one of our scheduled meetings, and there just happens to be one on the agenda. Yeah, let's get that person their funds and up or down, whatever it may be. But in terms of setting that special one, unless it's something like one project that is just a monumental, transformative project, I wouldn't see the necessary need in terms of not waiting until that next one. So I agree with you in terms of, if we're going to set a special meeting, it needs to be for something of substance. But in terms of our regular scheduled meetings, if there's one, there's one. That's what it is. And let's get that person, in terms of fairness and equity, get that person their money.
I don't want it to get out. It's a small city, but don't worry about getting your stuff together. They'll meet next month, and that's, so, I'd like to schedule a meeting for October 10th at 2 o'clock, unless there's an objection.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't know if we need a motion for that, just a matter of,
I don't believe you do.
okay. Okay. Now, Sharon's not hiding back there somewhere, is she?
There was something, Chairman, that I wanted to share just for the general awareness of this body and to get out into the public for any of those that be watching. I had a great meeting today with Team NEO, and we discussed the Jobs Ohio inclusion grants for businesses, either 51% minority-owned, women-owned, veteran-owned, or an individual with a disability, or if your business is located in a distressed zip code, which 44870 is a distressed zip code as signified by Jobs Ohio. And so what that means is that any business that exists in here is able to get a inclusion grant up to $25,000 if you are an MBE, WBE, disabled business owner, and if you are in the distressed census tract. So that 25 and that 25 equals 50. You have to be in business at least for 1 year, and you have to have at least $100,000 in annual revenue. There are some limitations to this in terms of which industries are eligible for that. So not every industry would be eligible, but the ability to utilize these types of funds for land, building, leasehold improvements, machinery, equipment, capital equipment, moving costs, infrastructure, site development, engineering services, employee training costs, so investing in your human capital, I think is a great opportunity for industries or businesses. I think the listing is cybersecurity, technology, logistics, or distribution. So if you manufacture soap and you distribute it, you could qualify for that. Financial services, food and agribusiness, healthcare, biomedical. So there's a wide group, and it's online with the full list. But I think that for business owners that are in this area, in the city of Sandusky, in this distressed zip code, I think this is a great opportunity for grant funds that are available through Jobs Ohio and to get that word out for them.
Hey, Marcus, thank you for bringing that up. Recently, every time I get a lead, or the folks over at EDIC or RISE get a lead, we've been sharing information. So we were able to, for one of our grantees, push them into the inclusion grant space for an automotive related business. And so I believe she is pursuing that. So there's good partnership and good synergy continuing with EDIC and with the programs that operate out of there.
I meet with Eric on the executive committee of the Greater Erie County Partnership. Obviously, everybody knows that we hired Eric, okay? He's really out there trying to push some of these, not just city grants, but all the different things that are available. We had a scholarship at our office. The one time I walked in and said, "How many applicants do we have?" And our office manager said, "None." I said, "What do you mean, none?" He says, "Nobody have bothered filling out the application," because they'd had to fill out an application. Well, just, never mind. That gets me started. But I think there's a lot of opportunities out there. Yes.
And also to note that those businesses do not have to go through the certification process, although that we encourage them to be MBE, WBE, VBE certified. They don't necessarily have to do that for this Jobs Ohio program.
Okay, so we are going to, there's, obviously Sharon hasn't sent anything in, or there's no public participation?
No.
Okay, so next meeting will be October 10th, special meeting, and then after that, next scheduled meeting will be November 14th.
Excellent.
Okay, if not, I would accept a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Go ahead and gavel down.